So how amateur golfers are trying to create speed is completely wrong. And I'm going to show you exactly here why that's completely wrong and what to do that actually works to get you that speed more effectively. So we're going to get into the 2 reasons here, how to flip those reasons on their head and hit the ball way further just via this different concepts and some great drills to do. This is going to help all of you. So let's get straight into the first one. And what this first one is what a lot of golfers do on the first tee, or let's say a par 5 that they're trying to get to in 2. They'll do this here. So they will really start hard from the top. They will try to get all their speed coming here. We know we shouldn't be doing that, but it's something that a lot of golfers, again, can't get themselves to stop doing. Some do absolutely try to do it. It's getting really fast from the top. Now, when we get too quick from the top, what's going to happen? Your arms are going to outrace your body there. Your body rotation is going to stall, and you're not going to be generating your speed into there. Ultimately, your fastest point of the golf swing is going to be at the start of your downswing. That's not where the golf ball is. So that's where, could you gain some speed and could you swing the golf club fast doing it? I mean, you could, but you are leaving a lot on the table. But as you can see there, the control is not there. And let's do another one. So really trying hard from the top. Again, 103 I'm in for me. That's generally not too bad. Normally I'm about 105. Again, if you haven't watched my channel before, I've got cerebral palsy, which affects my left side. I can't swing the club as fast as a top tour player, or maybe even some of the other guys here on YouTube. But that, again, for stuff that works for me, it'll work for you out there who might not be as physically capable as well. But also, if we look at the numbers there, we look at 223, that's pretty poor for me. Again, might be good for someone else, but 261, not bad. I could get some more there. So what actually works? So what we're framing what actually works here is what's functional as well. So again, speed's good, but we want it to be straight. We don't want to be, losing golf balls. Simple as it sounds, guys. We want to feel slow as we start the downswing. So we want this first motion to feel quite slow, and we want the speed to be gradually building up. So again, imagine this is like you're playing the old Tiger Woods games. You've got that speed bar where you'd click it right at the time. You stop the speed bar right at the golf ball, and that's when it speeds up. You want to think that exact same thing. You're slow, 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 then speeding up through the golf ball. Justin Rose talks about this, trying to get fast after impact, because how quick the downswing is, him trying to do that actually then presents the speed at the golf ball. So we want to feel, it is very much a feel versus real, because my rhythm is relatively quick, but that's where it's very important for me. So let's start to feel slow as we start in the downswing, speeding up after the golf ball, and it's going to be a lot easier to control that golf ball as well. So that felt a lot less effort. I got pretty much the same club head speed, which if I hit a few more, I would absolutely be able to get faster than that, no problem. But look at the straightness of the shot. Pretty much almost on the line, just a slight fade off it, 256 carry, which is great. Not gonna have any problem anywhere. And we can see from there, 276 total. So great. I was trying to find a ball which looks a little bit better. That's a good one. So that's where, super simple, feeling like you're slow all the way up to the golf ball. And that will be the better way for you to gain speed. Because again, it's going to help the club drop on path easier. Your sequencing is going to get better. You're going to be better in rhythm, better in balance, which means you're going to be performing better on the golf course. Starting slow, building up the speed through the ball. And that felt nice. Again, much better. All round there. Nicely on the fairway. 256, 275 total. 104.2, which is normal for me. Very, very controllable. So, as I said, I used to struggle with this a lot. I still do every now and again, absolutely. I'm going to show you a drill that my coach told me way back in the day, which absolutely fixed this. Let's get into it. So the drill, absolutely brilliant. This is called the step through drill. So this really stopped my kind of blur of a transition. I used to do this so much, even if my start of downswing might look quick at the moment. Imagine what it used to be like. And I used to hit it average probably about 95 miles an hour back in those days. So that's a good 10-mile-an-hour jump. So it's very, very beneficial. So we set up like this, just obviously not hitting it at the wall. And now, bring our left foot to our right, club out the middle. And as soon as we take the club back, we step. So this is called the step through drill. And we just swing through it. Very, very challenging drill. So if you're someone who has, again, problems with the left side like I do with my disability, again, challenging one, but doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. So this is a very good one for stopping the rushing in transition, because what this is going to do is it's going to reverse the sequencing that a lot of rushers have. So when people get too quick at the top, arms go too much first, that is the last thing we want to move in transition. So what we're doing is, of course, stepping through. As soon as we take the club back, that gets the lower body moving super, super, super early in transition. So not even in transition, in the golf swing in general, which will mean that the club would be the last thing to move as we start that downswing from there, because we've started the downswing ultimately so early with the lower body. You're not going to get trapped, don't worry about anything like that. But this again is a drill to feel the motion. Feel that smoother style of the downswing, which you're going to naturally feel from here, and you can apply it better on the ball. Hard drill, I struggle a lot to hit the ball with this drill, but I struggle because it's tough for me to do, which means it's a good drill. So step through and through. So that one I hit pretty much out the neck. We could see it there from the camera there. Oh, that would have been a shank with an iron. But again, why is that hard for me? Because I used to struggle with this. And also it's me getting onto my left side, which is tough for me with cerebral palsy, but I'm still doing the drill. And that's why for you guys out there, I always see it. A lot of students, when they first start off with drills, they'll be struggling with it. They would assume the drill's not right for them. That is the worst logic. That means the drill is right. If it's tough, that means it's targeting your weak area. Let's say you're lifting a weight that someone is in the gym, they're doing it easy and you're struggling with it. That's just because you're weaker. It's the same concept here with the golf swing. It's just because that area of your technique isn't as good as someone else. So let's step through. Didn't pick it up. I think that was much worse. But again, doesn't matter if it's much, much worse, because that means you're struggling with it. So when I turn off this camera, I'm definitely going to be practicing a little bit more of that drill, because what's it doing? It's exposing the weak area, which is brilliant. So I've just had those feels, I've just got them into my swing. Whether you hit it good or not, it absolutely doesn't matter when it comes to when you're performing drills. It's the feels it gives you afterwards. So that same non-rushed feeling, let's do it here. Speeding up as we get past the ball. Look at that, that was the best one. Yeah, 261 carry, 284. Nice little tight draw to target. It couldn't get better than that. But again, super important lesson there. I struggled on the shots with the drill, but then when I went to the golf ball, it got easier. That's absolutely it. So let's get to the next one. So the second thing of here of what amateurs are trying to do when they're trying to create speed versus what actually works is they're trying to create speed here, just like this. Hard releasing it with the hands going through the golf ball. Yes, if this was, again, let's say the 1980s or 1990s or even early 2000s, that is absolutely what would have been taught. Hard releasing it through the shot. For that to go straight, I have to open up the club face, which used to be square, which is toe up to the sky. So, and that's where we could create some speed through some flash speed, absolutely. But body rotation would come to a screeching halt, which would ultimately slow me down a ton. Like we could see there, 96. Let's give it a go. Let's really try to release one as hard as I can and try to make the swing as normal as possible. Because here's one of the challenges when you're demonstrating things. Your body adapts to the demonstration and tries to, of course, self-organize for it. So it looks a little bit different than your normal swing, of course. So I'm going to try, just to give you as accurate as a test here. Let's really hard release it with as normal a swing as I feel like I could do. Really try to release it there. Oh God, I got about 5 miles an hour more, 100, so okay, that's good. But where's the ball gone? It's hooked off the planet. It's gone 210 yards carry, which subjective, of course. For some golfers, that's probably great. But for me, as we know, that's not. So I've lost yardage straight away. But why is that? Because this is something so many golfers really believe makes them hit the ball further, makes them swing it faster. For most golfers, it does the exact opposite, because when we are trying to hard release the hands, okay, the body, like we said, has to slow down to be able to get yourself to do that. You have to slow down the body motion. But that motion in general, yes, you might get a little bit of what we call flash speed, but it's not very functional. As we see, if your club face is square to spine angle, so square to the swing arc, you're just gonna hit it so far left. You have to have the club face wide open to be able to make that work. And then you've opened up the golf course. Now, if you were like one of the top tour players back in the day in the 80s or 90s, what they did, I always remember Alathabel saying that he used to hit thousands upon thousands upon thousands of golf balls. Greg Norman, very similar as well. He didn't necessarily do this motion either, but a lot of those guys did it. Ernie Els, for example, nice smooth swing, big hand release. How many golf balls do they hit? Millions of golf balls. You don't do that. You don't hit that many amounts of golf balls to make that work. Even the top pros in the world probably don't now, because it would damage their body a bit too much. Why do you think that's going to work for you? It's one of the biggest things that just does not create speed. It just opens up the golf course massively. So what actually works from here don't even think about what the hands are doing going through the golf ball. If you have to think about that, fix the club face earlier to square the club face up earlier in the swing. So watch this, okay. If I'm gonna get this, let's say just swing this driver back and forth, just like that, swing it back and forth. If I want this driver now to go higher, what am I gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to pull the hands right at the bottom of its arc. Pull it up, so I'm just pulling the driver up with my left hand, just getting the driver to travel higher. So what does that mean? That means it's speeding up at the bottom of the arc. What's at the bottom of the arc for a golf swing? The golf ball. So if my hands are going upwards as a release pattern, the club's gonna go faster. We can just see it there. How do I do that? That's via extending the left side. This is what we see all the best players do. As soon as they start to get into impact, so around shaft parallel into the ball, sometimes a bit earlier than this left side starts to straighten, which lengthens the left side, brings the left shoulder more up, and gets the hands going more up as we go through. Like we just said here, when we do that, the club speeds up. So that's where we don't want to think about what the hands do. The hands will have a rollover. Everything releases in the golf swing. Even the most passive of release patterns, the club face will still roll over. It might be over here for some players, might not be out in front of them, but they would still have that release pattern. We don't need to think of that. That's where left side extending gets the club propelling through the golf ball, like what we're talking about, again, with the general speed nature in the first point here. So how do we get that left side to straighten? Because you can see it actually really helps you clear the hips last minute as well. This is going to massively help the club face become more controllable as well. Let's do one here. That felt very, very nice. So back to my normal yardage or normal club head speed of 105 there, very good. Split the line, and that felt whippy going through the golf ball. So there's 3 different methods you can do to be able to get this left side straightening. There's one that is so much easier than all the others, which is the second one here. So first one, very simple, just straighten the left leg. So as you're feeling like you're about halfway down the driver, start to straighten and snap that left leg. That will get you doing it. That will extend the left side. That will get everything you want in, spike the force back out the ground. Again, this is what gets that squat that a lot of players have and the force they put into the ground coming back out again. Vertical force, again, propels the club through. Loads of good things, which we could dive into more in another video. But that's just one way of doing it, is snapping the left leg straight. Absolutely works. I'm not a huge fan. I have to really actually slow myself down to try and do it like that. So if you practice it enough, it could be good, but that could also, again, for some golfers who, let's say, feel a little bit funky with their knees, maybe not the best one to do is try to straighten it like that, but you can. I've absolutely got videos talking about how to do that as well. It works. But second one I feel is the best. And that is when you're starting your downswing with the lower body, like we said, we're going nice and slow, but I want that left side to start going back, like someone's grabbing your left trouser pocket, pulling it back and around. What that does, that gets your hips moving deeper. We're still shifting our weight and our pressure, like the step through drill. But if we get that left pocket continuing to pull back and back and back and back, you can see it how it gets my left leg straightening. We see likes again of Justin Rose. Tommy Fleetwood has recently just been talking about him working on this with Butch Harmon. There's a little clip of him on TGL talking about it to, funnily enough, Justin Rose, about a feel that he had in the lesson where there was closing the door with his left hip. That gets that left leg as well for impact to straighten up nicely. That's just how I teach my students to do it, which we see some really, really good success with this because it's super simple and it gets you doing it. It gets you rotating super well early and getting the lower body starting. Just feels like you can go faster as well. A little bit of a leak out there, but that's still hitting the fairway fine. Awesome, so I like that one a lot. I teach that a lot. The drill I'm gonna show you in a minute, you're gonna, whatever method, you're just gonna naturally do what your body wants to do from there. So, third one, very common now, this one. This is pushing out the ground. So pushing forward with the left foot, that pushes you back again. As you can see, that extends the left leg. So you're pushing into the ground forward with your left toes, and the ground will push you back. That force you put in, boom, will get yourself extending and pushing back. Again, if someone slowed down my driver and really dove into it, they would see, I do that. I do that because of my cerebral palsy. It's the only way that I can really do it because I struggle to get the heel down. So then I have to push off with the foot to get some rotation in there. But that is via my intent of trying to get the left hip back. The force happens as a byproduct of that for me. But again, it's one that sometimes I feel like can get players in it a little bit toey. Let's try it really physically to do it. Exactly what I just did there, off the toe. And because I'm not comfortable doing that, it's made me slower. And that's, again, another good point. Even when you're trying what actually works here, you might start to be a touch slower when you start off learning the movement pattern, but it'll get there over time. So that's where I was lucky enough to work with the #1 long drive coach in the world. I was his student for many number of years. And we did a lot of discussion about this, and one thing he told me that always stuck with me is even the best long drive players in the world, when they're working on technical parts of their golf swing, adding it into their swing, which physically gets them faster, doesn't help them for accuracy, these bits that I'll get into the swing. So there's different things in this video, but they actually got slower starting off because their body was more tense trying to get this motion into the golf swing. So that's like with their motion I didn't feel quite comfortable forming, and I got 5 miles an hour slower straight away, but it's knowing that that move, when you master it, will speed you up. So that's where the drill I'm going to show you right now is going to really help you. To whatever one comes naturally to you, you're going to do it to extend the left side, to speed yourself up and actually create proper speed. Let's do one more. Wee bit of a pull, maybe I'm getting a little bit tired. Let's speed right back up again. Let's get straight to it. Okay, so here is our drill. So this is one I talk about a lot in regard to extending the left side. All we need is a nice alignment stick. What we do, we put it on the ground, just a little bit outside our toe line. And then from there, we're trying to get this to elevate into the air at around a drivable position. How we do that is just purely via extending the left side. So just feel like this left side gets straighter. You can see the stick is going to propel upwards into the air. We're not trying to drag it up, but you'll see what way your body likes to do that naturally. For me, I feel the left hip snapping back, and that gets everything propelling up. Some players might just feel their left side straighten. Other players might start to push out the ground. All very valid. This will teach you what you do instinctively. Because you're just performing a task, getting it to elevate into the air. Your body is going to try to do what feels natural. Just make sure you're not doing it with your arms, okay? So if we did a bunch of that, your body's going to feel it. And like we said before, what's the purpose of drills? The purpose of drills is to get you feeling the motion, okay? So we're getting that in there. Now I'm going to hit one more because I think my body is just shot now. Again, for a lot of you out there as well, whether it's disability or not, maybe just old age, you can't hit balls for ages because you get tired. So this is my last video I'm filming today. I'm certainly a bit knackered, I can tell you that. So if I get a good one here, that's going to be a very nice one. So, okay, feeling that exact same motion as the drill. Let's get it in here. That was a nice strike. Don't feel like I could do much better than that today. God, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm panting. It's tough work, isn't it, hitting a lot of drivers? It really is. So that's where the video I filmed before this, I was hitting driver as well, so I've hit loads of drives. Okay, so brilliant one there, guys. Make sure you're extending that left side. That's going to be really important. Whatever way you do it, the stick's going to then take that out of you and bring it into the swing. So that's where how amateur golfers are trying to create speed isn't necessarily what is the most efficient way. This is where we're talking about the most efficient way here. Plenty more, so there could be absolutely more videos about this topic coming in the future, because there's loads of little things that amateurs do which don't really have much base in reality, and I can teach you how to do it properly. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button. For more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.